So if you clicked on this video, you've probably reached the action stage of your journey and you're now considering whether you should go down the dropshipping route or whether you should ship your own inventory. Now, just for some context, if you haven't followed my journey on this channel, my name is Eamon and I documented my journey from day 0 all the way up until day, I don't even know what we're in right now, of TikTok Shop. And previously, I had some e-commerce experience doing print on demand already. From the beginning, when I first started out, I decided to go down the print on demand route, and this was in around 2022. I had just graduated college. I wanted to try out e-commerce a little bit, but of course I had just graduated, so I was in debt. I had no money to my name and I was working a corporate job that was not paying me well. So I had to go down a route that was going to allow me to make money online without having to put up a significant upfront investment. One thing led to another. TikTok Shop came out. I got interested in TikTok Shop, started doing print on demand on there, scaled it all the way up to around 3,800 orders up until this day. But more recently, I've decided to delve a little bit into the whole, shipping my own products game, keeping my own inventory and having more control over the products that I sold, being able to do more customization, more personalization, and being able to do more content with the products that I have. I do videos where I show my customers me packing their orders. I show them the new inventory that we have. We run out of stock, so I kind of tell my customers about that and build up some anticipation. So over these last 2 years, I would say I've accumulated a very decent amount of experience when it comes to drop shipping. I was doing it through the print on demand model versus shipping my own inventory. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly everything you need to know about each route so to make the decision much easier for you. So right off the bat, if you're someone who is just starting out, and this is pretty clear, if you don't have much money to your name, if you don't have any experience to your name in e-com, selling online, on social media, creating content, on ads, anything of that sort, I highly recommend you get started with some form of dropshipping. The form of dropshipping that I followed is print on demand, which is pretty much getting whatever designs you want in a variety of different items. So that's sweaters, that's crew necks, that's hoodies, that's t-shirts, even mugs, license plate frames, all sorts of things, getting my designs up on there, marketing them on a platform like TikTok. First started out doing TikTok organic far before TikTok Shop came out, and pretty much I was just creating content and driving sales to, or driving traffic to my Shopify site, where then I would drive sales and try to scale up. Now, the main thing about this is it does not require any significant upfront investment. So the exact strategy that I followed is I found a bunch of designs that were doing well on Etsy. I also thought of some other designs that I thought would do good and match the kind of content that I was going to make. I found them on Etsy, downloaded the PNGs, put them onto these items on the website that I use for print on demand called Printify, and pretty much whenever I would get an order, the customer would simply buy from my website. I would click on submit order and Printify would take care of the rest. Now, to explain the back end a little bit more and the logistics of this is, websites like Printify, they have a whole host of different print providers or suppliers on there. So Printify handles the relationship between the supplier and themselves, and the supplier actually holding up their promise and making sure all your work is done, and they package it up in the software that's like Printify on the website, where everything is seamless for you, right? So you go on there, put your designs on a shirt, and then they give you a list of suppliers, and then you kind of link your product to that supplier, and then whenever an order comes in and you want to fulfill that product, it automatically, once you click on submit order, it goes to that supplier, and Printify holds them accountable. There's never going to be problems where the supplier doesn't ship your product or they try to scam you. None of that exists on Printify. It is completely headache free, and that's something that you're really going to want as a beginner, because the last thing you want when you're first starting out is to get scammed. That is going to leave a horrible taste in your mouth. So that's something that I really enjoyed. I got to just focus on the content. I didn't have to pack my orders. I didn't have to think about having inventory on hand that was not going to sell. None of that. I pretty much had no headaches. I was just focused on driving traffic to my website, and then people would convert on there. Now let's fast forward a little bit more, and TikTok Shop came out. Now in the beginning, Printify did not have an integration with TikTok Shop, so it was kind of a struggle where I'd have to do everything manually. But if you're someone who wants to get started on TikTok Shop, Printify does have a little setup of the TikTok ready catalog where these products get fulfilled quickly for you, right? So even if you're someone who just wants to get started out and you chose TikTok Shop as the platform that you want to use versus just your own Shopify site, you can also go print on demand on that route, or you can use another supplier called Printful. They also do print on demand. They also have some drop shipping integrations with TikTok Shop, but I do not recommend doing those if you are going to be doing TikTok Shop. Now, if you're going to be doing your own website, you can make up your own policies, your own rules, and you can kind of throw away everything about TikTok Shop that I said to the side because none of it matters for you. Pretty much, if you're going to be doing your own website, there's no rules, there's no regulations, so you can drop ship with, you know, from AliExpress, from Alibaba, from any Chinese website that you want, and you're not going to have to worry about certain policies or getting strikes about certain things. The problem with that form of dropshipping that I need to address for you guys is it's not as easy and it's not as simple as these YouTubers make it out to be. You need to communicate with these sellers. You need to build up a relationship with them so they're actually shipping your product. I mean, these suppliers on these Chinese websites, you need to make sure there's actually shipping your products. You need to make sure they're shipping them in a timely manner. You need to make sure they're not putting fake tracking numbers and the product is actually getting to the customer. Customers are not going to tolerate a month or 2 months waiting for their product. The other problem with it is the quality. There's going to be a lot of quality concerns, especially because all these gurus will tell you, oh, I went into AliExpress, I found this great product, and then I copied someone's video from Facebook, posted it on TikTok, got a bunch of traffic and a bunch of sales. That's all bullshit. If you don't have the product in hand, if you don't have an actual sample, you cannot verify the quality of the product. Like, this is some beginner stuff that none of them mention or conveniently fail to mention, is that you need to verify the quality of your product. The other thing is these suppliers might send you a certain product but ship a whole different one to your customer. Again, you're going to be dealing with quality concerns, and as the products are coming from China, most of the time they're going to take a bit longer. When you use these US based suppliers like Printify for print on demand, or if you find a dropshipping supplier that's based in the US, you're going to be able to avoid the whole headache of waiting a long time for your customer to get the product, charge back dissatisfied customers. So all of that gets removed. So for anyone who's a beginner out there, I don't recommend delving in straight into buying your own inventory because you don't know how to create or drive traffic to your site. You don't know how to create good content. You don't know if those products are going to sell. You have no experience with any of it. So it doesn't make sense for you to put in a big upfront investment. Now, if you're someone who's a little bit more advanced, and I feel like I've reached this level now, I've been doing this for almost 2 years, and I feel like just now I've reached a level where I can carry my own inventory, I can take on that risk. I'm not going to like run out of money if the orders don't sell, or I'm not going to carry a bunch of inventory because I know I'm going to be able to create enough content and use TikTok and TikTok Shop well enough to sell all my own inventory. Now, the benefits of this is I keep everything in stock, so this way I can run sales through TikTok Shop and I can also sell through my site. Now, the little beauty of this is when a item is out of stock, I can set it up for pre-order on my site because there's no 3-day SLAs, there's no policies from TikTok Shop that I have to follow. So although I might have sold out on TikTok Shop, I can sell a certain quantity on my website in anticipation of receiving it from my suppliers. The other nice thing about this is you kind of have more control over your products. You have more control over what you're selling. You can reach out to certain suppliers. You can build up relationships with them. I did this through AliExpress. I don't use Alibaba suppliers. I don't know. I just didn't like the website for some reason. Couldn't find many great suppliers on there. But I found some products that I really like that matched a trend that's going on right now in clothing. And they had a specific niche to them that matched my TikTok page and the kind of content that I was making, so it was perfect. So this is pretty much how I ran holding my own inventory. So my camera died, so I had to kind of restart this part over, but let's get right back into it. My first supplier that I bought from, they shipped me an item that was not what was in the picture. So when I got it, the material was different. There was no embroidery on it. It was like just not the same thing as the picture. Now imagine I drop shipped that directly to my customer. That would have been horrible. The second supplier lost one of the packages. So I received one in a timely manner, but the other one got lost. The third supplier, they shipped to me and they shipped very, very fast. I was able to get the products. They were good quality. They were embroidered just as they were in the image. Pretty much it was the same products as in the image, and they got here very, very fast in about 7 days. The fourth supplier, I ordered a little bit more from them because they had a wider variety of the styles that I wanted, and those two came to me in a relatively timely manner, and the quality was very much there. So this gave me an idea of each one of the suppliers before I went in and did a bulk order, or took a further step ahead and did a customized order. So after the samples came in, I created some content with them and saw if there was any interest. Some of the TikToks that I made instantly got a couple thousand views, and I knew this was going to work. So I focused in on the two suppliers that I actually received good quality items from in a timely manner, ordered those styles, but this time I did 20 for each style. So I would do 7 small, 7 medium, 6 large for each of the styles that I wanted. And then once they came in, I created more content, and once again they sold out pretty quick. So this right here gave me the proof of concept that I needed to know that, hey, these products are going to do good, especially on TikTok Shop, especially with shoppable content. And this is where one of the problems comes in when you hold your own products at your, in-house or at your warehouse. You need to be very much aware of inventory. Now, I told you guys when something sells out, I can set it as pre-order on my site, but that takes away the whole advantage of TikTok Shop. So you're going to face that problem often, where you need to maintain a fine balance between having enough stock to where you don't sell out. If a video of yours goes viral, if an affiliate creates a video and it goes viral, you want to take advantage of that surge in traffic. But at the same time, you don't want to overstock too much where you're holding so much inventory, none of it is selling, and you're just left with a bunch of losses at the end of the year of that unsold inventory. So that's why it's difficult. You need to get a little bit more experience with business, and it's just going to be a learning pain that you're going to have to go through once you start holding your own inventory. And I had this problem. So once I saw that even when I did like a 20 pieces per style kind of thing, they were selling out quickly, that's when I knew, okay, it's time to do a bulk order. This was phase 3. I did a bigger bulk order, and a few of the styles completely sold out even with the bulk order. So like 45 of each, I think 45 to 50 of a style would just sell out pretty quickly, and this would, I would kind of lose momentum that I was getting with TikTok Shop, and this is something that's going to happen to you. It's like the fine balance once again. And then once you see that, hey, okay, I understand the use of socials, I know how to drive traffic to my TikTok Shop, how to drive people to my website, that's when you can take it a further step ahead with, when you hold your own inventory and you build a connection with suppliers and make some customized pieces that no one else is going to sell. And that's kind of the phase that I'm at now. This phase brings about a whole new set of challenges, because let me tell you guys something that no one on YouTube tells you. It is a nightmare communicating with overseas suppliers. And this is a little piece of unconventional advice that you're not going to hear. If you're a young person right now, if you're 15, 16, 17 watching this video, I highly advise that you learn Chinese. Right? Business is booming in China, of course. We all know that, but commerce between the US and China is always going to be very, very strong. And the best way for you to create the best business relationship, especially with Chinese suppliers, is to speak the same language. I know no one else on YouTube is telling you to learn Chinese, but I'm going to tell you guys that because that is a big regret that I have. I learned Spanish, I speak Arabic, I speak English, but I don't know Chinese, man. And that's causing me a lot of issues. So to communicate with them, especially when it comes to the point where you're going to do custom orders, they're not going to understand you. They're going to be using a translator. I'm having so much stress right now and trouble because I'm trying to explain to them exactly what I want, and I put in a big bulk order, like hundreds of pieces, about 600 pieces, and they didn't even know what I wanted, even though I explained it to them 10 times. They shipped it out, and then the items were wrong, and I'm like, these are not the right items. They're like, oh, sorry, we got it wrong. Do you want us to intercept the package? And I'm like, this whole headache and this whole mess could have been avoided if I knew Chinese and can communicate with them directly, right? But I know it's not realistic to ask you guys to, learn Chinese before you start doing this. But first comes in the communication problems. Second is the shipping times can sometimes take a bit longer, especially when you're doing bigger bulk orders. And there's a lot more stress involved, I'll be honest. When you hold your own inventory, it's more stressful. There's going to be the time commitment that you're going to put into actually packaging all the orders, shipping everything out. Although I'll be honest, it's not as difficult as many people make it out to be, right? Because let's say you receive your item already pre-made, already packaged, you kind of just put it into the poly mailer and put your shipping sticker on it. That's what I do. It's not really that difficult. I get a bunch of them. You print out your manifest, which pretty much has the tracking information of all your packages. You go to the post office, you drop it off. Now, the advantage to this is when you ship stuff yourself, you save money compared to, doing print on demand, or you doing drop shipping from the US. So what I was paying on Printify was $8 for the bigger items, the crew necks. For shirts, I was paying around $5.50. When I ship stuff out myself, I pay around $4.30. My items per piece, because I'm ordering in bulk now, they cost me about $6.50 to $7. $4.50 shipping, that brings me to around $11.50, and I sell my products for $35.99. Now, the whole idea of why I'm able to sell my products for this price, there's competitors selling their products for less than me, but I don't care. I always tell you guys, sell with your content, and not with the being cheap or being the cheapest on the market. But pretty much that's what it is when it comes down to drop shipping or print on demand versus holding your own inventory. They both have their pros, they both have their cons. I try to list out as many of them as possible here for you guys based on my experience. I know for a fact there's some that I forgot, and after I create this video I'm gonna look back and be like, damn, I forgot to mention this. Let me think for a second real quick. What's some other troubles I'm having? Oh yeah, in China, they probably are not going to be using WhatsApp. I told them I'm going to send them some images on WhatsApp. Now, we don't have WhatsApp, we only have WeChat. Obviously, I don't have WeChat, so we have to talk through Gmail. Communication is much slower. So putting on top of the communication barrier, the fact that it's slower, the fact that when you do custom orders, oh, this is another thing. You don't have as much control over the process as you would have on a Printify or when you're working with a US based company, right? When you're working with the Chinese business people, they'll tell you a timeline and they won't go according to that timeline, right? So they told me my custom piece are gonna be ready in 2 weeks. Now it's been 3 weeks, and I'm like, can you send me an image of the final product? They did send me an image right before it was completely finished, but I wanted like really high quality images of the final product. They're like, today, tomorrow, the factory's still working on them. They messed up with some items, like they sent me too much of a size and didn't send me another size. So let me tell you guys something. The moral of the story here is you need to be a bit more of an advanced person in business to do your own inventory, because it comes with a additional level of stress. It's much more stressful. Something else that I forgot is, I know this video is all over the place, but I'm trying to make it as authentic and real as possible. Like I'm talking to you face to face right now. When you ship your own inventory, you can't just go out on vacation. Like when I was doing print on demand, I can go on vacation and get 10, 15, 20 orders a day, and it's gonna get taken care of. Especially when you're working with TikTok Shop, you have the 3-day SLA. When you're shipping your own stuff, you can't be out on vacation pretty much unless you hire people to take care of it for you, or for that period of time you're not going to sell on TikTok Shop and just sell through your website, because you kind of allows you a bit more freedom to ship out your stuff. So that's pretty much all of it. I listed out literally every single thing I can think of. If you guys want a kind of one-on-one style of education when it comes to e-commerce, when it comes to drop shipping, print on demand, content, TikTok, you will find my school link down below. Over there we got a community where we do live weekly calls, so it's not a course, there's live weekly calls that are actually live, like we're actually gonna talk. And then they got some preloaded modules that I have on there. Like every week or two I put up a 20 to 30, 40 minute long module going really into depth. There's already like 8 of them on there that are going to guide you through pretty much every single little thing that I know when it comes to drop shipping and print on demand and selling your own inventory and email marketing and SMS marketing. There's also like the community tab where we can share information with each other, connect with like-minded individuals. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what kind of path you're going to take, if you're going to ship your own stuff, if you're going to rely on a supplier, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.